What you have to do first in accelerating your ability to learn any subject you want to learn is you have to prepare your mind. Some techniques in accelerated learning are more important and some are less important. And the technique of preparing your mind before you attempt to take in new information is perhaps the most important of all. By becoming skilled at getting ready to learn, you can double or triple your capacity to learn virtually overnight. In fact, everything that you've ever learned easily and well has been because your mind was in a learning state prior to the input of the new information. When you deliberately create this learning state before you read or attend a session or expose yourself to new ideas, you will be astonished at how much material your mind absorbs and retains. You know that a positive mental attitude is an essential part of success in virtually any field in life, and there's no place where this is more important than in learning. The more positive, optimistic, and relaxed you are when you approach a learning situation, the faster and more easily you learn. Having a positive mental attitude is like turning on all the lights in a tall office building. Your entire brain is switched on and open to new inputs. On the other hand, a negative mental attitude has the effect of shutting down many parts of your brain, like turning off the lights on different floors of an office building. If you are negative, fearful, stressed, or worried for any reason, your ability to learn drops dramatically. This entire session will be filled with powerful, proven ideas that you can use easily to prepare your mind and to open all your mental windows and let in information at a rapid rate. First, I'll explain to you the 5 keys to rapid adult learning. Second, you'll learn the role of your attitudes, beliefs, and feelings in affecting the speed at which you learn. Third, you'll learn how to get into a resourceful state of mind with a simple 7-step system. Fourth, you'll learn how to set well-defined learning goals so that you have a clear idea of where you want to end up. Fifth, you'll learn how to use positive affirmations to condition your mind so that it is positive, optimistic, and continually open to new information. Sixth, you'll learn how to plan your time so that you get the very most out of every minute. Seventh, you'll learn how to keep calm, cool, and relaxed so that your higher mental powers are always switched on when you're learning something new. And eighth, you will learn about some things you can do to keep yourself at a high level of motivation. So now, let's begin and look at some of the things that you can do to make learning faster, more effective, and more enjoyable. There are 5 basic keys to adult learning. The first is desire. You must really want to learn a new subject. Your desire must be personal and aimed at the fulfilling of your own personal goals and objectives. You can never learn something because you feel that you should learn it. You can't learn because somebody else thinks it's a good idea for you. You can only learn when you really want to learn yourself because you can see the benefits to yourself from mastering a new subject. Many people grow up with the idea that they are learning their subjects and getting grades on their report cards in order to satisfy their parents and teachers. They unconsciously come to believe that education is something that is done to them and that they only do it well in order to please others. It's only when you realize that everything you learn is for your own personal benefit and that it has little or nothing to do with the people around you that you become a totally self-responsible learner. It's only then that you begin to intensely desire the benefits that can accrue to you from being more knowledgeable and more skillful. The second key to adult learning is motivation, which comes from continually asking and answering the question, what's in it for me? What is in it for you? The more reasons you have for wanting to learn a particular subject, the more motivated and determined you will be to overcome the mental inertia that holds most people back. When I begin studying a new subject that I think will be helpful to me in my business, one of the things I do is to analyze it in terms of the additional income that can accrue to me by mastering the new topic. I then calculate my return on investment by determining the number of hours it will take me to master the subject and the extra amount that I will earn as a result. For example, if you are earning $20 per hour, and by developing certain skills and becoming very good at them, you can increase your value and your income to $30 per hour, you are looking at an increase of $10 per hour as the result of learning a new skill. Now let us say that it takes you 100 hours of study and practice to develop the new skill. Since you work about 2,000 hours per year, and the new skill will help you for, let us say, a minimum of 3 years, you will earn an additional $20,000 per year times 3 years, or a total of $60,000 extra as a result of having this skill in your arsenal of abilities. If you divide the 100 hours that you will have to invest to develop this skill into the $60,000 extra that you will make over the next 3 years as a result of having it, you come out to an hourly rate for learning of approximately $600 per hour. This is not bad pay for becoming excellent at learning and applying a new subject. Now, what if the new skill only increased your value by $5 per hour? Then, you would only be earning $300 per hour for every hour you put in developing that skill. When you begin to look at learning in your work as an investment of time and effort that will give you a definite return to your personal bottom line, you start to get very motivated indeed. The third key to adult learning is relevance. The more relevant a subject is to what you are doing at this very minute, the more driven and determined you will be to learn, retain, and apply the new information. One of the best ways of making a subject more relevant to you is what is called the critical success factor method of analysis. Critical success factors, or CSFs, are based on the discovery that there are seldom more than 5 to 7 factors that determine your success at any particular job. They're called critical success factors because your ability to do them well will assure your success, and your inability to do a good job at even one of them will almost certainly cause you to fail. For example, let us say that excellent personal and time management skills are a critical success factor for your work. If you organize yourself and your time very well so that you are always concentrating on high-priority tasks, you will be successful. However, if you are brilliant in every other area of your work except for time management, and for some reason you cannot get yourself organized so that you get the results that are expected of you, that alone will cause you to fail in your field. This is the definition of a critical success factor. If you're in management, the critical success factors are planning, organizing, staffing, delegating, supervising, measuring, and reporting. If you're poor at any one of these, it can sabotage your entire career. If you're in sales, your critical success factors will be prospecting, getting appointments, establishing rapport with your customers, uncovering problems your product can solve, making effective presentations, overcoming objections and closing the sale, and finally, personal time management. If you are poor at any one of these critical success factors, this alone can be enough to derail your sales career. Therefore, with regard to relevance, the more you focus on learning the skills that you most need to be successful right now, the more and faster you will learn and remember. When I began taking a business degree at the university, I wasn't sure that I'd be able to finish the 3 years of coursework. So what I did was to choose courses that I could use immediately in my current work. I selected the most relevant courses to me at the moment. I suggest that you do the same. When you begin learning, ask yourself, what is the most important subject that I could master to help me to be more successful in my job right now? Then, move that subject up to the top of your list of learning priorities and go to work on mastering that subject first. This will assure a high degree of desire and motivation as you learn and move forward. The fourth key to adult learning is anticipation. This is developing the attitude within yourself similar to that of a child at Christmas. It is the "I can hardly wait" attitude. The more you look forward to and anticipate the enjoyment of the learning experience and the benefits that you will get from mastering the subject, the more open and positive your mind will be, and the more you will activate your higher mental powers for rapid learning. The fifth key to adult learning is positive expectations. The more positively and confidently you expect to be able to learn easily and well and to apply the material, the more open and optimistic you will be and the faster you will learn. Wonderfully enough, all of these attitudinal factors can be manufactured by you personally in your own mind by simply making a decision to do so. In fact, when you look forward to playing your favorite sports like golf or tennis, or going dating or dancing with members of the opposite sex, or going on vacation to a favorite spot, all of these factors are at work. You have intense desire. You are highly motivated because you know exactly what's in it for you. You feel that what you are going to be doing is relevant and important to your life. You look forward to it with anticipation, and you have positive expectations of the enjoyment you will experience. Your job is to bring these same psychological ingredients to bear on every learning experience. This alone will double the speed at which you learn and retain information. The Law of Correspondence says that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. The way that you behave on the outside is determined by the way that you truly feel about a situation on the inside. To accelerate your learning, you need to program and condition yourself subconsciously so that you react positively and automatically to every new learning experience. Fortunately, all attitudes are learned attitudes. They are very much like the experiments of Ivan Pavlov with his dogs. He would ring a bell and show a dog a piece of meat. The dog would salivate at the sight of the meat. After repeating this experiment several times, Pavlov could ring the bell and the dog would salivate. This is the way you can train yourself as well. By programming yourself to think of learning experiences as positive and exciting, every time you approach learning a new subject, you will mentally salivate. You will look forward to it with anticipation and confidence, knowing that you can master any subject that is presented to you. Many people have negative conditioned responses to the whole idea of learning. Because of unsuccessful childhood experiences, we often look upon learning as something that contains the prospect of failure, frustration, underachievement, and negative comparison with our peers. We approach it with trepidation. But as you now know, if you are worried or anxious for any reason, parts of your brain will shut down, and your ability to take in new information will be dramatically reduced. As a result, you will learn less and unfortunately be confirmed in your original anticipation that you lack the ability to learn. Your job is to reverse this process of conditioned responses by looking forward to learning and programming in positive thoughts, feelings, and suggestions with regard to learning any new subject. Here is one of the great breakthroughs in peak performance research and peak performance learning. It's the discovery that if you have one negative experience, you can, by reflecting on that experience, generalize it to a general attitude of negativity toward the whole subject. But the reverse is also true. If you have one positive experience, by reflecting and dwelling on that positive experience, you can eventually generalize it to create a totally positive attitude toward new, similar experiences. By taking one success that you've had and thinking about it continually, you can build up an entire attitude of self-confidence and belief in yourself. You can actually become a winner in your own thinking and feeling. Here's an exercise for you to demonstrate this. Think back to a time when you did something that was exceptional, a moment of excellence or achievement when everything clicked for you. It all came together and you surprised even yourself with your own ability. That sort of moment is literally a powerful resource to draw upon. If you play that memory over and over again in your mind, it will trigger the same feeling of powerfulness inside you. The memory of the moment and the feeling that goes with it are inseparable. The memory becomes the stimulus and the feeling becomes the response. This moment of excellence in your past could have been a sporting achievement. It could have been a moment when you suddenly solved a problem or saw a solution in a flash of insight. Maybe you got an excellent grade on a paper, or you achieved a result that was far beyond your expectations. If you're in business, it could have been a moment where you made an important sale, or a moment in a negotiation where you suddenly knew you would succeed and get a great deal. It could have been the look on someone's face who congratulated you on an achievement. It could have been an excellent golf game, a perfectly executed dance step, or even a meal that you cooked that turned out to be superb. Your peak experience could have been with your family or with a friend. It could have been at a time or situation when you succeeded in a hobby or leisure activity. Whatever it was, when you recall that moment, you can see it in vivid detail. It gives you a feeling of pleasure and happiness from the success you enjoyed. This is a peak moment for learning and mental programming. Here's a 7-step method you can use to create a resourceful state of mind prior to learning or prior to any important experience where you want to perform at your best. Step 1. Select a previous success experience and bring it clearly into your mind. Step 2. Intensify that memory. What did you actually see at that moment? What did you hear? What did you feel? Get as much detail as possible. Use all your senses. Take some time. See it out of your own eyes as you did originally. Hear it with your own ears. Feel it with your body. Avoid seeing yourself in the scene from a distance. It's essential that you look out at the successful scene from inside, because that creates the same feeling of confidence and strength that you had originally. By doing this, you are learning how to recall a powerful state of resourcefulness. All you need to do now is to call that feeling up whenever you wish. Step 3, having recaptured your moment and feeling of peak experience, think of one word that sums up the original event. This is your cue word. For example, you could use the word power or the word great. You could even use the word yes. These are all powerful anchor words. Step 4, sit up straight and straighten your body. Pull your shoulders back. Now, look up and take a deep breath. This is important because at moments of peak experience, you automatically breathe deeply and raise your chin and eyes. In fact, when you raise your chin and eyes, it actually makes you feel brighter and more powerful in any situation. Step 5, clench your fist, which is a natural thing to do when you feel powerful. Step 6, now intensify your memory of that original experience. Recreate and really enjoy the powerful feeling that you had at your moment of triumph. Step 7, unclench your fist and open your eyes. Each time you repeat this sequence of 7 steps, this stimulus-response pattern becomes stronger and stronger. Soon, you will be able to return to this powerful, resourceful state whenever you want. You will just take a deep breath, picture the scene, clench your fist, and say your key word inside your head. You will have deliberately programmed yourself to feel calm, confident, and powerful on command. This is a skill, by the way, that is not only good for learning, it's a skill for life that you can use in every experience. Remember, we're all conditioned to respond in certain ways, either positively or negatively. Unfortunately, most of our conditioning has occurred in a random, haphazard way, usually by accident. It's your job now to take full control over your own mental programming and assure that the way you automatically respond is consistent with your highest good. Perhaps the most powerful of all techniques in preparing to learn is the setting of clear, specific goals for yourself and your future. The more clear, vivid, and intensely desired your goals are, the more you'll be motivated and driven to achieve them, including and especially your learning goals. You know that you have 2 minds, your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is activated by words, ideas, and linear concepts. Your subconscious mind, which is far more powerful, is activated by pictures, images, and emotions. Intensely desired goals, clearly visualized, activate your subconscious mind and turn on all your other mental powers. To succeed completely, you need to make sure that what you consciously say you want and what you really subconsciously feel you want are united. Your external performance is determined by your internal self-image. You always perform on the outside the way you see yourself and think about yourself on the inside. The image you have of yourself is largely stored in your middle brain. This brain is more likely to respond to an emotional appeal and to strong images than to a logical argument. So if you want to change your attitudes, feelings, and behaviors, it's important that you create a motivating and vivid vision of your future. A powerful, positive vision helps to program your subconscious mind to achieve the goals that you've set for yourself. The goals, in effect, take on a power of their own once you've programmed them deeply into your subconscious computer. The more clear you are about where you want to go, and the more determined you are to get there, the faster and more easily you will learn. For example, if someone introduced you to 20 people at a party, one after the other, you'd probably forget most of their names within a few seconds. But if someone told you in advance that they were going to introduce you to 20 people, and that one of those people would give you a check for $10,000 later in the evening if you could recall his or her name perfectly, you would probably memorize all 20 names the first time through. When you have very clear, intensely desired goals, you'll be amazed at how much smarter you are and how much faster you learn the things that you feel are essential for achieving those goals. Although accelerated learning techniques can be used to learn any subject for any area of your life, my major focus in this program is in helping you to learn the things you need to achieve the greatest amount of financial and material success in your work and personal life. In setting learning goals for yourself, begin by asking, where do I want to be in 3 to 5 years? What kind of a lifestyle do I want to have? What kind of money do I want to be earning? What kind of a house do I want to be living in? What kind of a car do I want to be driving? What level do I want to achieve in my business or industry? What position of status or prestige do I hope to rise to in my career? What professional degrees or certifications do I want to have? Look around you. Who else is earning the kind of money you want to earn or living the kind of life that you want to live? What are they doing differently from you? What knowledge and skills do they have that you lack? If you're unsure, go and ask them. Ask the people around them. You can't hit a target that you can't see. Find out what you need to be good at in order to achieve the goals that are important to you. Once you know exactly what you want, ask yourself this key question. Why aren't you there already? What's holding you back? What obstacles are standing in your way? In many cases, you are already on the right track, and it's just a matter of time before you get there. But it is also extremely likely that there are essential skills that you must develop if you want to achieve at the same high level as the best people in your industry. I have known sales professionals who have dramatically changed their entire lives by recognizing that they were weak in telephone prospecting skills. One seminar graduate of mine told me recently that by dedicating himself for 6 solid months to telephone prospecting skills, he increased his sales and his income by more than 400%. He finally realized that poor telephone prospecting skills was the critical success factor that was sabotaging his entire career. Once he learned how to do it well by study and practice, his career took off. Here is perhaps the most important question of all in setting learning goals. It is this. What one skill, if you did it in an excellent fashion over and over, would have the greatest positive impact on your life and career? Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, there is one critical core skill or competency that, if you develop it, would have the greatest positive impact on your current situation in life. Your job is to clearly identify it and then make a plan to become outstanding in that specific area. Once you've decided your goal and you've decided the person you have to become in order to achieve that goal, create a vision or a mental image for yourself as if you were already that person. See yourself, think about yourself, and feel yourself as if you had already achieved the success that you desire. Your ability to verbalize, visualize, and emotionalize your desired goal or end state serves as a powerful motivator to both action and learning. Once you've clearly decided what you want and the person that you will have to become in order to achieve it, write it all down in detail on paper. Less than 3% of Americans have written goals, and they accomplish far, far more than people do without them. In a study done at Harvard University between 1979 and 1989, they found that the graduates who left the university with clear written goals and specific plans for their achievement were earning 10 times as much as the others a decade later. Clear written goals intensify your desire and deepen your belief that they are achievable. When you write down a goal, you activate your visual, auditory, and kinesthetic senses. A written goal gives you a track to run on. It enables you to take control over the direction of change and the direction of your life. It makes you feel more powerful and purposeful. A written goal is a blueprint for success, just like a recipe is a blueprint for a dish that you want to prepare. The habit of writing down your goals and making plans for their accomplishment will do more to help you achieve great things in life than any other single skill that you can develop. I've been teaching this skill to thousands of people over the years, and I never cease to be amazed at the incredible stories that my graduates come back to me with about things that have happened to them since they started writing down their goals. When you have a written goal, it becomes easier for you to visualize the achievement of that goal. In fact, a goal that is not written down is merely a wish or a fantasy. It has no energy behind it. It has no motivating power. It has no substance or long-term influence on the way you think, feel, and act. Once you've written out your goals and made plans to accomplish them, You should create an affirmation that is consistent with your goal. Affirmations are so powerful that with them, your potential is virtually unlimited. Fully 95% of your emotions are determined by the way you talk to yourself, by your inner dialogue. When you talk to yourself in a positive, optimistic way, you feel more positive and optimistic. However, if you do not consciously and deliberately control your inner dialogue, it will tend to drift toward negativity and doubt. You will start thinking about the things you don't want, the people you don't like, the upcoming events that cause you fear or worry. When you consciously and deliberately use positive affirmations that are consistent with your goals, you'll be amazed at how strong and confident you feel in the pursuit of them. Affirmations must be positive, personal, and present tense. You say something like, I earn X number of dollars each year. Or you would say, I weigh X number of pounds. Or you could say, I learn any subject easily and well. Or, I have an excellent memory for new information. Or you could even say, I'm a genius. I'm a genius. I'm a genius. Remember, your subconscious mind can't tell the difference between something that you vividly imagine and something real that happens to you. If you continually affirm in positive terms the things that you want to be and do, your subconscious mind will accept these statements as commands and go to work to bring them into your reality. The most powerful words in the language are the words that you say to yourself and believe. In fact, you build your personality and your future as a bricklayer builds a wall by putting one brick upon another with the things that you say to yourself repeatedly and believe. And the more emotion you put into your affirmations, the more impact they have on your subconscious mind and on your subsequent thinking and behavior. You should say things to yourself like, I like myself and I love my work. You should say things like, I'm the best. I feel happy. I feel healthy. I feel terrific. And you should always be reminding yourself with the words, I can learn anything I need to learn to accomplish any goal I ever set for myself. When you repeat these words to yourself over and over, and you match them with a clear mental image of yourself as if you had already achieved your goals, your subconscious mind will work overtime, 24 hours per day, to motivate you forward and attract into your life people and circumstances who can help you to make your goals a reality. The next part of preparing your mind to learn is to plan your time carefully. What I do is I create a project for myself each year, and sometimes more than one project. Last year, my project was to become computer literate. I gave myself a year to learn how to touch type with a keyboard and to become literate on a computer so that I could use it without being afraid of its technical complexities. My goal for this year is to become computer fluent and to learn how to use online databases. My goal for next year is to learn fluent Spanish so that I can speak and record in Latin America. In each case, I give myself a long-term goal, and then I break it down into sub-goals, and then break each sub-goal down into small parts and go to work on them one at a time. In managing your time, you should do the same. You should also take advantage of every spare moment to increase your level of knowledge and skill. Use transition time or downtime to learn. Always carry index cards with key ideas or reading material around with you. Listen to audio cassettes in your car. 15 extra minutes per day of effective transition time can make you knowledgeable in an entire subject over the course of a year. Set specific deadlines for yourself on all your tasks and activities. Discipline yourself to put aside all other activities and focus on achieving your goals by those deadlines. Wonderfully enough, the more discipline you practice on your activities, the better you feel about yourself. Another way to motivate yourself is to share your goals with other people. Tell your family and friends that you are going to master a particular subject within a particular period of time. Promising others motivates yourself. The next part of learning to learn has to do with getting into a resourceful state of mind through a series of mental calming techniques. You know by now that the more calm and relaxed you are when you approach a learning situation, combined with an intense motivation to absorb the material, the more rapidly you will learn. There are a series of things that you can do that are now being used by accelerated learning teachers all over the world. The first and most important of these is to calm your mind in advance of attempting to learn anything. This is so important that you should spend 10, 20, and even 30 minutes of deep relaxation prior to settling down to the business of taking in new information. Fortunately, this process of mind calming is fairly easy. You start by having relaxing classical music playing in the background. In fact, relaxing classical music in the background while you are reading or learning anything will harmonize both hemispheres of your brain, relax you substantially, and dramatically increase the amount that you can learn and remember. Not only that, having classical music playing will enable you to study for much longer periods without stress or fatigue. In mind calming, there's probably nothing more important than the practice of deep breathing. In deep breathing, you inhale deeply 7 to 10 times, holding your breath as long as you can, then exhale slowly with your eyes closed and with the music playing in the background. You let your entire body relax, especially your neck and shoulders. A very good exercise for you is to roll your head around and around on your neck, and then roll your shoulders forward and backward. Shake your hands as though you were shaking water off your fingers to get all the tension out of your body. Then, close your eyes, breathe deeply, listen to the gentle classical music, and just relax. This process of mind calming is similar to the process of physical warm-up that an athlete goes through prior to competition. Instead, you're going through a mental warm-up before entering into an effective learning experience. In preparing your mind to learn, your physical environment is extremely important. Be sure that you are comfortable both in your clothes and in your seating arrangements. Organize the place where you're going to study with colors, pictures, plants, posters, and even mottos or quotations on the wall that are conducive to excellent learning. These forms of secondary suggestion have an impact on how effectively your mind works during a learning experience. The more relaxed, calm, and confident you are as you approach the intake of new information, the more information comes in through your 7 intelligences, and the more of it you retain. Finally, in preparing yourself to learn, set up a regular schedule of rewards for each learning achievement. Just as children are motivated by candy and horses are motivated by sugar lumps, we as adults are motivated by the anticipation of the rewards that we expect to enjoy when we accomplish a task. I said earlier that you should take regular breaks. One of your rewards can be, after completing the learning of a particular piece of information, to get up and walk around, to relax and listen to a piece of music, to go for a walk or a run. It could be to phone a friend or to eat or drink something enjoyable. In fact, if you refuse to allow yourself a coffee break until you have completed a particular part of the work, you'll be amazed at how motivated you are to master the material so that you can have a cup of coffee. By clearly visualizing the rewards that you'll enjoy as a result of learning a piece of material, both in the short term and in the long term, you actually condition yourself, like Pavlov's dog, to be eager to learn whenever you start a learning task. Preparing to learn is the most important single step that you engage in. By relaxing your mind, visualizing your goals, setting up rewards for yourself, and by creating a relaxing and positive learning environment, you can activate all the centers of your brain that are responsible for the rapid intake of new ideas and information. The very act of going through the proper preparation sequence is similar to laying a good foundation for the construction of a building, or the organizing of all the ingredients necessary for the preparation of an excellent dish in the kitchen. The better prepared and organized you are before you attempt to learn something, the more and faster you will learn. By taking the time to prepare to learn thoroughly, you can double or triple the amount that you learn in any given period of time.